So, when we look at the historical fact of when Simon the shepherd met Jesus the Christ, we could then use that to establish the metaphor of Jesus the Christ. Now, there's many metaphors you can use, but hey, dude, I gotta be honest with you. I can't help but have one after another. I love learning about this guy. Call me a weirdo. What do you think about that? Anyway, so what we do know is this: the factual stuff. Christ Jesus was given a false conviction. Jesus was beaten in front of everyone. He was whipped in front of everyone, chastised, criticized, betrayed, ultimately betrayed, and forced to carry some big, heavy wooden cross. And he had to carry it not only in the center of town, but now you had to carry it in the far outskirts of town. And not only do you have to be away from people, if you will, because that's why they put him outside, so to be away from society, but still, people still followed him around at arm's length and leg lengths away, whatever it is, to mock him, if you will. You know, and imagine that. Imagine putting yourself in those shoes where you're not only forced out from society, but society itself to make sure to keep you at an arm's length and leg's length away from everyone around you. You know, it's just very mentally not so good. Okay. So now let's look at the facts of the shepherds. Okay, now the shepherds are typically kept on the outskirts and the edges from society. They're away from town because sheep, for a number of reasons, I'm not going to be able to give everyone, but look it up. There's other people who will tell you more than what I say. Verify everything I say, please. Look it up, please. I'm not, nothing I learned on my own or created on my own. Everything I learned from someone else. I'm just regurgitating facts, okay? And not to sound like, sheep bleat. And sometimes when they bleat, they sound like humans, so they go like, bleh, bleh. The last you want is just a field full of things that are talking to you. I have enough things talking to me as it is. And they're constantly pooping, they're constantly peeing, they're constantly eating grass or whatever they can get their hands on, whatever they can get a hold of, they're constantly eating. They constantly require maintenance, they constantly require upkeep, so much so that it's like having a Ford. So what you're going to do is you're just going to keep these things away from everyone else, so you don't have to deal with smells or the sounds or any of that other stuff. And it's an all-day affair, okay? So the shepherd, he's got to get up early in the morning, and he's got to get up possibly before the sun rises up, and there's no alarm clocks, so it's just as soon as you wake up, you have no other choice but to wake up. You got to get going, and you're on your feet all day. Okay, it's just ridiculous. You're sweating in the sun. You don't really have fresh water. You don't really have a lot of good fresh food. If it is, it's just not palatable. It's just there. Just a lot of things. And so if you can imagine, if you yourself were that shepherd, at 2:30, 3 o'clock, you're done. Okay, it's beyond break time. It's done time. That's it, bro. I'm finished. Okay. And all of a sudden, he walks over the hill, and this is where his story gives us an amazing story. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to switch into that metaphor. Now, like butter on that stove, okay, the hotter she gets, the more she's going to melt. So we're just going to keep bleeding further and further into this, and just don't worry about it, okay, of how you're going to understand it. In the end, you don't worry about how the hamburger's getting cooked. You just worry that it's going to taste good when it's served to you. Okay. This dude didn't ask to be beaten. He didn't say, hey, can you whip me? No, not only whip me, but please use that cat of nine tails. That thing that's got shards of nail and glass and stuff. Whip that with me. And please, criticize me, chastise me, betray me, mock me. Do me a favor and make me feel like I'm a complete isolationist. But I'm not isolated, just hated. Okay? And out from nowhere, out from a hill, comes this dude who helps you carry your cross. He doesn't ask really any questions. He doesn't ask you what's going on. He doesn't charge you a fee. He helps you out. He carries you through whatever mess you're going through. So he helps this dude pick up his cross and carry his cross, pick up his burden and hold his burden. You see? And that's the analogy of Jesus. Please think about it even further, go into it further, and comment below. Let me know what you think below, man, because I love this. We are here to be helped. Jesus is here to help us. And this simple little story, just a little paragraph of a story, just unfolds and unpacks into such a wonderful story about ourselves and our relation to what's around us. Hey, thank you very much. God bless y'all. Have a good day now.